Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and in this video we'll be taking a look at saving data with user defaults. I misspelled that, sorry. But anyways, that's not the point. So here is a startup project, nothing much. I have three view controllers. One is a navigation controller, the remaining two are normal view controllers. This is the view which the user sees right here. This is the segue which is performed when transitioning from this one to this one, this view controller to that one. Identifier of that segue is just segue. Simple and straightforward. Then we have the sign up button which is pressed in order to sign up. And then we go to second VC, which looks very bad, unimpressive, that's the word. It just says hi and whatever the username is. And we're going to be saving the data using user defaults. So very simple. Let's jump into the ViewController.swift and look at what we have here. So we have an extension of a string which contains three variables, static variables or constants, which is the password key, the username key, and the sign-in key, which is just password, username, and sign-in key. Then we're checking what are the outlets we have. We have a username outlet, which is the text field which we saw, password outlet, and the sign up button outlet. Then these are all the variables we need. This is the standard user defaults. We're going to be using user defaults.standard to save the data. So basically like a shared instance of user defaults, like you say UI application.shared.begin ignoring interaction events. Stuff like that is like one of the shared instances. Then we have has signed in, which tells the program whether the user has signed in, chosen username, or what is the username which the user has chosen, and the chosen password. And then these are all the view controller methods and UI view controller methods, and these are the interface builder actions or IB actions. Simple here. Let's just see what we have here. So here's our project. Click on sign in, and that's what you can do. We can type in something, password something, and we get that nice dot because we're using password.isSecureTextEntry is equal to true. So you could do that in storyboard, but I'm just doing it in here just for the clarity of it. So let's get started. So first of all, let's jump into the sign up action, because this is where all the action is going to happen. So first of all, we will guard against our user name text is equal to user name dot text. To check, it's an optional string right here, optional string. And then we're also going to check our password text is equal, let password text is equal to password dot text. If one of those is nil, we're going to basically be returning out of the function. Get some space there. So we're checking that these two are not nil. Then what we're doing is we're going to be storing this. So, storing. Awesome. Okay, so we have to also, when the user signs in, it basically they have signed in. So we'll say has signed in is equal to true, which means they have signed in. We're basically signing them up. Maybe I should say has signed up. That's a better word for this tutorial, for the purpose for storing it. So we will just use our standard user defaults, which has been defined right here, and we will just use the set, and we will select this value and a key. So we have all of this lot of stuff here: set values, set nil value for key, lot of awesome stuff here. But we're going to be just going with this default one right here, and the value we want to save is the user name text, so which is the username which the user has chosen. And then the key is our username key, which has been defined in the extension up there. Then we'll again use our standard user defaults and set another value, and that's going to be our password text. right there, and the key is our password key. So the reason why we are not actually just typing in the string alone, basically the key is it's a string. As you can see, it takes in a string, and we're basically not typing in a raw string, and that's because we could make typo or typing errors, or instead of saying password key, you could have said password, stuff like that. So whatever, standard user defaults set, and we're going to set another boolean this time, and that is has signed up. Has signed up, and we'll use our sign in key for that. And that's it. We have successfully stored everything. Now we're going to print out saved. So now if I run this, or I should I say stored, whatever, doesn't matter. Now let's type in, let's say, team spirit, and password is going to be 123. Hit sign up, and there is our saved. So yeah, so now we have saved the data. Now we have to get the data back, right? We'll do that in the view did load, and we're going to use functions. Cool. Right then, Xcode 11, you get this mini map. Pretty nice. So we'll say func get data. We'll just use the keys. We have only few keys, right? So now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be getting the data back from all of this stored stuff. So we will say guard let stored username is equal to standard user defaults dot value, and this value returns optional any, which means we have to force unwrap that or safely unwrap that. That's why we're using guards here, and you have to cast it as a string. That's because we're getting any. So we will use our username key, and we will try to cast this as a string. The reason we're not using an exclamation mark is because we're unwrapping it. So else return, and then I will say guard let password store password is equal to standard user defaults dot value, and the key is the password key, and we're going to try to cast this as a string again. Get a white space there, else we're going to return out of this. And now we're going to check for one more, guard let has user has signed in is equal to standard user defaults dot value, and the key is going to be the sign in key as a bool. So instead of actually casting it as a bool, we can just use the dot bool, and the key is the sign in key. And the reason why this is better is because you don't have to unwrap it, because if there is a nil value, it will just return false. So that's very helpful. So now we have all our stored properties. We've got it all back. Now we have to just assign them. So chosen username is equal to stored username, chosen password is equal to stored password, and has signed up is equal to user has signed in. Now just to make sure that the data has been retrieved, we will print chosen username, the password, and the has signed up. And we have to of course call this here, so we'll say data. Now hopefully we will say team spirits 1, 2, 3 and true. Team spirit 1, 2, 3 and true. Let's see if that is the case. team spirit 1, 2, 3, and 2. So beautiful, we've gotten all the data back. Now we're going to be calling this signing up function only if has signed up is false. If it is true, then we have to check if the password is right and allow them to sign in, right? So actually I forgot to do something here, but we'll just come back to that in a bit for the finishing touches of it. Now here we will say for if check, so if user name dot text is equal to the chosen username, and we also have to check for the password dot text. Do you have to use that? No, I don't. Password dot text is equal to chosen password, which means the user has done the right stuff. We're going to print out awesome, else print out you are a thief. I don't know, this came to my head, I typed it out. Basically telling us whether the password is right or wrong. So now I'm going to just type in some nonsense here, some other nonsense. Ooh, no, I don't want stuff. What can I don't want it. Sign up. You're a thief. That works just fine. Oh god, what is wrong with this? It's recommending strong passwords, alright, but thank you. Let's type in some gibberish. Some more gibberish here. You are a thief. Now let's start typing in the right stuff. Team spirit. And then 1, 2, 3. Hopefully it says awesome. There we go. So now it knows whether it's right or wrong. So if the password is right, we're going to perform the segue with identifiers. Segue. Sender is basically what you want to pass into the next ViewController. We're going to give self. Okay, we want to actually do this also here. Here we're going to get into this ViewController methods, and we're going to say prepare for segue. We're going to check if the segue.identifier is equal to segue, then it is the segue which we just perform. Going to the next one. So we're going to say let dest vc or destination vc is equal to segue.destination, and this returns a UI view controller. But what we want is the second view, so we're going to downcast this, force it to convert this to a second view, just like that. So we're going to access our dest. So we'll say let label is equal to dest vc dot label. Then we will access this label and assign its text to be equal to hi, and then chosen user. So now finishing touches. Just use an optional chain for that. Hopefully the label doesn't return nil because we actually have a second view. So let's type in team spirit and 1, 2, 3 sign up. It has returned a nil. So instead of actually doing this, we can do another thing. We'll do it like this way instead. We'll say var user name is equal to some string, and here we will just say un is equal to chosen username, and un is equal to chosen username, just like that. And then here in the second view.swift, instead of the view did load, we're going to be using the view did appear, and then super dot view did appear animated. Then we're just going to say label dot text is equal to hi and the un. So hopefully this works out, we don't get nil. So one of the simple ways of transferring data. I didn't even think of this until now. So let's say team spirit 123 sign up. Hi team spirit. Beautiful, that works awesome. Let's go back. Let's type in something nonsense. Hit sign up. You are a thief. So that's how we can remember the data entered by the user easily using UserDefaults. And if you're wondering how I got this round button, in the storyboard I use this designable class, and I'll talk about that in a later video. But that's all for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.